Hello everybody, Razorblade Mango here. As many of you know, Gamescom is happening this week, which is exciting. And to me it's always been kind of a little mini after dinner appetizer after the megatons of E3. So this week we've had quite a few interesting announcements, and I kind of just wanted to go over some of the games that caught my attention. I'm not going to be going over every single thing that happened with Gamescom, so I'm sorry if you're disappointed that something you're looking forward to is not here. This is just stuff that I am personally interested in or find noteworthy for some reason. Stuff that caught my attention. And normally I would make a video about, a Gamescom conference. Like I made one for the Xbox conference last year, but there weren't any conferences this year, which is interesting. I'm sad for me because I really like conferences, but I think we're starting to see the shift in presentation where conferences, at least traditionally held conferences, are going to stop being as prevalent as they've been for the past decade. And I hope companies take the PlayStation E3 2016 approach where they just have an hour-long show, very little talking, just games. I hope that set the standard, with live music, of course. I hope that set the standard for future conferences to come. But no conferences at Gamescom this year, so I had to go by the trailers that were shown, released by the companies. So I'm going to go over some of the games that caught my attention. It's I guess I'll start with what is my most anticipated game of 2016. Metal Gear Solid Survive, or Metal Gear Survive, or whatever the fuck it is. No, that is not my most anticipated game. I couldn't give two fucks about that game. I just find it sad, I guess. That's the reason it just caught my eye. I didn't catch my eye for the right reasons. It just caught my eye because, wow, this is what Konami's going to do with Metal Gear. Now that Kojima's gone, now that he's doing Death Stranding, this is what Konami is going to do to his baby. They're gonna strip it of everything that makes Metal Gear unique, and they're gonna turn it into a fucking multiplayer zombie shooter game. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. That. Yeah, you definitely struck gold there, Konami. Because we haven't seen that before. We haven't seen 4 players go up against zombies before in multiplayer arenas, so yeah, nice going there. And they're bullshitting about how this game will have stealth elements to it. How the fuck is this gonna have stealth elements to it, you bunch of liars? Look at that shit. Look at that fucking trailer. What stealth is there? Seriously, like the 1 second you do creeping up to a zombie, is that the stealth element that you're talking about? Where's the stealth element? I don't see any stealth elements. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Konami. Fuck Konami. Just get the fuck out. So, moving on to games that I legit actually give a shit about. Well, hell, I'll do one more honorable mention. This actually is an honorable mention. I am getting a little bit more interested in Watch Dogs 2, and it seems weird me saying that given my notorious hatred for the first one, but I must admit I am getting a little bit more interested the more I see of Watch Dogs 2. A lot of the stuff they seem to be doing is taking my criticisms of what I hated about the first one, like the awful driving, the fact that the story takes itself so seriously and yet it's generic as fuck, a stupid boring protagonist, a stupid boring city, and they're actually making it fun. Like they're giving it this techno punk humor to it, I guess, and it's like a bunch of weird shit that they're adding to it, but that makes it fun. It's like an attempt to make it fun and not be so serious with its technological babble and to not have a protagonist who's a fucking boring moron. So I guess I'm getting a little bit more interested in Watch Dogs 2. I might cover it, maybe. I don't know. That depends on what I see of it until release, and I'm pretty sure, knowing Ubisoft, they're gonna fuck it up in some way. So I'm still keeping an eye on Watch Dogs 2, and no, I'm not on the hype train of, oh my god, Watch Dogs 2, it looks so good, or like in the terms of the god-awful Titanfall 2 PR, get hype. That's literally what it says. If you go into the YouTube video for the recent Titanfall 2 videos, they literally say, get hype. Yeah, because get hype works so well for the first game, right, Titanfall? Right? Yeah, it did. It totally did. Alright, so games that I actually give a shit about. Resident Evil 7. The reaction that it's been getting seems to have a lot of people divided. Very mixed reception to the very Outlast-like gameplay that was shown. And it's been revealed since then that the trailer that was shown off where this woman named Mia is hiding from this woman, this like evil, creepy lady with a lantern, and it's very reminiscent of Outlast. And from what I've heard about the demo, there's like a key section which is a lot like Outlast. So I don't want Resident Evil 7 to be Outlast. I already have Outlast 2, which I'm really looking forward to in coming next year. So I hope these little bits, it's like a side mission apparently, these VHS tapes that you can collect and play and see what goes on in them. And I'm hoping that's where the Outlast elements stay, because they've said that you're going to be able to collect herbs, and you're going to be able to have combat with the zombies in the game, and they've confirmed that these people are infected. It is some kind of biological infection. It's not ghost children. At least I hope it's not ghost children. I hope that these people are actually infected by some kind of, by whether it's Umbrella or whatever the other company was. I think was Trysil. I think it was Trysil in Resident Evil 5, or some other company. I hope that's what they are. But it looked good. I liked what I saw from it. I liked it not exactly from a gameplay perspective. Wasn't really wowed by that. I was more wowed by the environment, which I really like. This creepy swamp rural area in Louisiana, and it feels a lot like Louisiana with how watery the environment looks. That's based in a swamp, and I like that. It's a different change of scenery for the series. Even though Resident Evil 5 had swamp areas, it was still very much in like the action-based stuff where you shoot zombies and you go from one area to another. And from what I've heard of this game, it's going to be set in just one location, which is just the plantation that apparently maybe this person is in the trailer. And this person is not the protagonist, so I guess she's related to the protagonist in some way. Maybe the protagonist of the game is this Ethan that we're hearing about from her in the trailer. So yeah, I liked what I saw from Resident Evil 7. I think it borrows a little bit too much from Outlast or PT, particularly with the design of the woman at the end. She looks a lot like Lisa from PT. So yeah, it looked good. I liked what I saw from Resident Evil 7. Moving on to Battlefield 1. Just from a pure spectacle standpoint, I liked the trailer that was shown off. I thought it looked exciting. I liked, of course, the traditional, the hazardous environment effects that DICE likes to do, that Battlefield in general likes to do. So it looked cool. Now, my problem with the trailer is that it, of course, like the Resident Evil 7 trailer, it looked very staged. It looked almost too clean. And I know this is, as much as people want to like get excited over this trailer, this is not how the game is going to look. Like as you know, as fluid and staged as it is in the trailer. It's going to be chaos. If you've seen gameplay from the alpha that was shown at E3, then you know that this trailer is not how it's going to look in the final game. Now, thankfully they're going to have an open beta, and I am definitely going to get my hands on it, and I'm going to make a video about it. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach this. I might just do either a live reaction or something where I record gameplay and I come in and I talk over it. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I will definitely have a video out about Battlefield 1, but I need to actually play it to get a better hold of my opinion on it. Like I've played Resident Evil 7. I've played, you know, it was more I haven't played Resident Evil 7 itself. I've played an idea of what Resident Evil 7 is going to play like, and I like it. So I have, you know, confidence that I'm going to enjoy Resident Evil 7. Battlefield 1, I'm not entirely sure, because I like the Battlefield series. I think they're okay, but I have never been like a mega fan of them. I've always preferred them to Call of Duty, though, in most situations. But I'll have to see. I'll have to see how it handles, because when they were making those trailers for Star Wars Battlefront, they went on and on and on about how, you know, oh, look at this badass trailer. It's made with in-game assets and it looks so amazing. And then it looked cool, but then I'd get my hands on it and I'd be like, oh, that's not at all how it plays in the how it plays out in the trailer. So it's another one of those trailers that is very staged, and I'm pretty sure nothing in the trailer is going to play out exactly like that or as smooth as that. So, but we'll see. I am excited for Battlefield 1. It's the first Battlefield I've been excited for in a long time. It's been a long time, but it looks cool. Yooka-Laylee. That shit looks awesome. I'm so fucking excited for Yooka-Laylee. And they've shown a lot of the game so far. I love the trailer that they released. You get to turn in like a tractor. There's like eyeballs that are enemies. You get a good look at the villain. It looks so cool. And I hope this is a great game. I really do. Especially after fucking Mighty Number 9. We need a Kickstarter game that comes out and is great. We need something to bring life, you know, bring people's hope back into Kickstarter or crowdfunding games in general, and say, yes, this is how it can be done. Like, if you crowdfund, this is a possibility of what it could turn into, and it's this great fucking game. So I'm really hoping Yooka-Laylee turns out to be great. All signs point to it right now to being great, and I've heard and seen really good things about that toy box that they released for it last month. I think the game looks really nice from a graphics perspective. I respect their decision to delay it from October to 2017 to make it more polished, to add more stuff into it. So I'm happy for that, and it already looks really good. Like, if they had shown that Gamescom trailer but labeled it like a launch trailer and said that the game was going to come out in a week, I'd be like, yeah, this looks great. This definitely looks ready for release. But I'm glad that they're smoothing it out. Now this is one of the situations that a delay definitely could help, could make it better, and I'll get more in that later with a different game. So I guess the next thing I want to talk about is South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which is a great title, but it looks more South Park, which I'm happy about, and I like that they're bringing an element of turn-based strategy to it with the grid system. I like that the superhero thing is getting raked over the coals. They take a very D&D style approach to creating a character. And it just looks really fun. It's just a lot of the gameplay. And I'm not even somebody that really likes this grid system that they're going with, but from what I've seen from Fractured Butthole so far, I like it. I like it a damn lot. So that I was very, very excited for. Like Yooka-Laylee, two games that I already know I'm probably going to really, really enjoy. And these trailers just do more to interest me and to make me excited for these games. So, final thing, and the thing that I'm probably going to talk the most about, Final Fantasy 15, which they released an hour-long gameplay demo of, which is way longer than they said that they would, which is nice. I like that they delay the game. I do. I like, because as much as I say that, you know, the hour-long gameplay won me over, and I know there's a, like Resident Evil 7, there is a divisive line between people that either like really, really like what Final Fantasy 15 is doing, or really, really hate it and want it to go back to something else. And I'm in the camp that really likes it. To me, I'm not a fan of turn-based strategy. I mean, of active time battles and turn-based combat. Even though, you know, I really I love Final Fantasy X, I love Final Fantasy 7, but it's never really been my thing. So this approach that they're taking, where they're basically turn it into like a Final Fantasy like Kingdom Hearts hybrid, it looks cool. And what I played of it in the Duskai demo was really interesting. And it felt a little clunky. Well, not a little. It felt pretty damn clunky. And I'm a little disappointed, though, that that this hour-long gameplay demo of it justified the need for a delay. Like, when I heard that it was going to have a delay, it didn't surprise me, but it did worry me. And seeing this hour-long gameplay demo, it did restore a lot of my faith that this is going to be a really kick-ass game, at least for me. I hope I really enjoy it. I mean, I've said, you know, like last year with Arkham Knight, I was like, yeah, this game's gonna be great, I can't wait. And it ended up being the most disappointing thing I've played in a long time. But I'm really, if there's one game I want to be great, it's Final Fantasy 15, because I've waited 10 fucking years for this. But there's one side of me that's really excited, and then there's the other half, the more sensible half, that's like, yeah, but look at the signs. This thing has been in development for 10 years. Very, very troubled, rocky development cycle for this game. It just, I don't know. And I want it to be good. I really, really want it to be great. And all signs for the, you know, like, most of the signs for this gameplay demo turn out to be great. Like, really make it look good. Even the dub, which I think has improved dramatically since Duskai, which I hated in episode Duskai. The English dub I liked in the gameplay, even though it could use some tweaking with how lifelike it sounds. But this excuse that they're giving of they want to delay the game to put in the day one patch for people that don't have internet. It's a little strange. Strange. Not a little, it is strange. We don't really hear that a lot from game companies these days. To me, it seems like an excuse that they need to polish the game a little bit more. It's like them saying, hey, we need more time to polish this shit in their own way. But I have to wonder if they actually are going to deliver on their promise and not have a day one patch when the game comes out. I have my doubts that this game, that the final product, that it only needs 2 more months to make acceptable, so it doesn't need a day one patch. And for people that don't have internet and will never get internet and will never be able to download all the further DLC and the patches and shit like that, that this version of the game is acceptable and is the only one that they really need. Like, all the other patches for it will just be, like little things. But I have serious doubts that this version that's going to come out, this day one version, is going to be as smooth as they want it to be. I think there are going to be some frame rate hitches, there's going to be clipping issues. It's not going to feel as smooth as they want it to be. So I'm putting this out there for you guys that are like, that don't have internet or don't want to have your PS4 connected to the internet and just want the game to come out and just be what it is. But I have my doubts, and I hope my fears aren't realized, but I can't help but be skeptical anymore about delays. I've always said, delays are a good thing, but that hasn't always proven to be the case, especially with No Man's Sky that came out last week. That delay did nothing to make the game, enjoyable at all for me personally. So, I mean, but again, I appreciate, I guess, that if their intentions really are that noble, to make a version of the game that comes out day one that does not require a fucking patch, which pissed me off about No Man's Sky, because for people that don't have internet, No Man's Sky would have been a really different game if they hadn't downloaded that day one patch. Like, the version that went gold was the version that Hello Games did not want you to play, and that's troubling, and I don't like that. And I think we're becoming too reliant on day one patches, but that's a topic for another day. But I'll have to see. We'll see. But, even if Final Fantasy 15 turns out to be crap, which is a possibility, I'm not saying there's no way. I'm not going to... Because I've said that about games in the past, and I've been burned, and I should be old enough to realize by now, saying, oh, there's no way this game isn't going to rule, is really stupid and really silly, because I can't predict my own reaction to certain things. So, yeah, I hope for the best. I guess a philosophy that I should adapt from now on is, expect the worst, hope for the best. So, I guess I'll try that Final Fantasy 15 and see how that goes. I'm not going to be getting that fucking ridiculous Ultimate Collector's Edition anymore. I'm just sticking with the regular day one version. That's all I'm getting. I don't want to spend that much, particularly since I'm building my new gaming PC. So, anyway, that's some of you have asked my thoughts on Final Fantasy 15. Those are my thoughts. And I guess I'll just give this advice to everybody. I guess expect the worst, hope for the best. So that's my take on Final Fantasy 15. And hey, even if the game turns out to be shit, that fucking soundtrack, guys, that soundtrack is incredible. It's already in the running for soundtrack of the year for me, and it hasn't even come out yet, so it probably will be. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know what games from Gamescom interested you. And I'm sorry I couldn't get to everything. If there was a game you were hoping I'd talk about and were disappointed that I didn't, I apologize, but this is just stuff that grabbed my attention. I'm not particularly interested a lot in, like Titanfall 2 or For Honor or Dead Rising, or a lot of the Xbox stuff that was shown. Did not care at all about Gears of War 4 or that the Recore game that they show, which I just think looks so bland and generic. Doesn't help that it's being developed by Keiji Inafune. But yeah, I'm sorry that if I didn't cover a game you wanted me to talk about. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And new episode of my Telltale podcast is up, so if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put it in the description box, so give that a listen. We talk about The Walking Dead, Season 1, Episode 1 in this episode. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, guys. Take care.